Alright guys, so today on the channel we're going to do something that one of the members and something that I've been talking about thinking about for a long time, and that's just kind of getting together all of the customs that I've done for the show so far. Maybe you guys can get some inspiration, some ideas out of it. And when one of the members, I'll put his name here, I apologize, I don't know which specific member was the one who asked me, but when he asked me, I said, you know what, number one, he's a member, and number two, I've been thinking about doing it myself. So great minds think alike. More people must want to see this. And so I've done quite a few customs for the show. And I'll just start out by saying this. Number one, I love doing customs. Number two, the reason I don't do customs all the time is because they demand time. If you're going to do it right, they demand time. And so, if I'm going to show you guys how to do something worthwhile, I'm not going to half butt it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, do my best to execute the best that I can and to show you guys what I'm doing with it. So that's one of the things that people say, hey, I kind of joined your channel to just do the customs. Where are they? Let's go. I want to see some customs. I get it. I want to do customs, but this isn't my job, number one. And number two, sometimes my family comes like a bajillion times way before this. So some of the time and energy that I'm willing to contribute into this sometimes just isn't there. So just keep that in mind. But it doesn't mean that I don't have the time sometimes. Sometimes I do have the time and the inspiration to go ahead and hit this up and let's knock out a custom. All of a sudden I've got a few moments in between, a few days in between work or something. Let's get one of those knocked out. Something that's been, something that's been calling at me for a while. Let's do it. Let's knock that out. So let's go ahead and start real quick with some of the fun builds that we've done, some of the fun customs, mods, kit bashing that we've done. Let's just walk through them. There's probably more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to all the videos in the description, and go have fun watching those. Maybe you get inspired by some of these, and we'll talk through some of the thought processes for them. All right, so here we are, and let's just talk about some of these first, right? All of these I've actually got a video for. All of them have a video, and that one's an RC, that one's an RC, and that one's an RC. So if you could charge these up, and they would just go on their own. The other thing I would say is that a lot of these were done before the Ramen Racer and before even the Valaverse Vanguard was out. So we were kind of kit bashing, kind of making things work, especially things from Ross. I think I got that one from Walmart though. But you'll see some of the things that I got from other places. You'll see, and again, forgive me for the camera work because I'm just doing it freehand. So we're going to kind of walk through these. So this one was actually really fun, but technically challenging because I had to make hinges for the door to open. You see that? And what I really hate, what I really despise about some of the cars that are up here is that the doors don't work. And that was driving me crazy. So I wanted to do one, but I wanted to do a car that for me would be fun doing the door to work, and I could use it for several characters. This particular car, this Batman car, can work for the Punisher, can work for Batman, can work for any number of, Blade. It can work for Blade even. So that's why I went ahead and did this one. So, and the figure fits easily into it, and the doors, closes. And there's a video on how I did all that and painted it and all that stuff. So that was this one. Let's move this one over to the side right here, kind of give it some room there. And then we have this one. This is the little Jeep Wrangler. The doors do not open on this one, but you could tinker with it some more. What I try to do always with these bad boys is not have, hold on one second. All right, well that's better. What I also forgot to mention is that some of these have lights, have electronics. Like this one, its lights in the front light up, and then the tail, the afterburner lights up in there. So again, sometimes it's really worth the effort in modding some of these, customizing some of these, because the electronics, I'm always about getting the best results with the least amount of effort, right? I don't want to sit here and do a project that's going to take me a month. I simply don't have the time. Some people might have the time. I do not. So whatever I can do to cut corners a little bit, make things look great without having to rework everything. It's not, the simple fact is, it's not because I can't do it. It's because I don't have the time to do it. It's not that I don't have the inclination to do it. I just don't have the time to do it. So let's take a look at this one. This one also lights up. I think the lights back here come on. The lights up here come on right here. So let me show you. These lights light up. And this was a yellow Jeep. And it really, to me, it looked like a great setup for a Joe vehicle. That's why we got Tunnel Rat in here. He looks great in that vehicle, driving it around. And, you know, Tiger Force is known for repurposing some of some of Cobra's equipment. So they repurposed some of that missile launcher to set that up. And we set it up there. Oh, look, I have the controller sitting in here. So yeah, it's a remote control car. I gave it a little, you know, fire extinguisher in the back, a first aid kit there in the back as well. That didn't come with it. Just, you know, I gave it some decals on here to make sure that, you know, the Joes knew that it was the Joes. A little bit dusty. Sorry about that. It's been sitting on my shelf for a while. This does come down, so you can actually shoot through that if the Joes needed to get down to business. So it's just, you know, some of the stuff that we do. And you can sit more figures back here. It's very easy to fit figures into this, and it's got some big clearance. So it could definitely go off-roading with you. And he doesn't sit outside of the box there. He actually sits inside the vehicle. I mean, sometimes the figures pop out of the top of the vehicle, and that's, you know, that kind of kills the realism, right? Because who wants a cat that's, you know, who wants to have their head pop out of the top of the, you know, up here where it doesn't belong. Anyway, so that's this one. I really enjoyed building this one or modding it, creating it. I had to paint it. We did some minimal modding on the seats back here, some minimal modding on this to set this up. You can actually take this off and use it again. It's fully turnable, posable, whatever. You know, you can move it down, you can move it up. You know, it's pretty simple. I've got like I said, I got a video to this one if you want to see it as well. Let's move this one out of the way. Hopefully it doesn't fall. There we go. The next one we did was this one right here. This one did involve quite a bit of modding. He fits in there pretty good. I had to take the steering wheel and add like a little plastic piece of plastic to bring it up to him there. So I put a decal on it up here, painted it. I think it started out as, I don't know what color it was initially. I think it might have started out as red or something. I don't know. But ultimately I just painted it completely black, as, you know, a bad guy vehicle would be. And yeah, that's where, you know, it fits really. Actually, I had to mod some of that out. I had to cut that out so they could push their feet in through there. But you really don't even see that, right? He fits fine in there. So I really had a good time with this one. You know, I'll put a video to it as well. He can put all his equipment back here as well. Put a little, you know, if you want to see how I did all this stuff, I put a little hard point up here, and you can actually take this hard point out and put different weapons if you want on it. So yeah, so I was really having a lot of fun with this one. Added some decals. The door does not open. With a little effort, you could open this door, but again, some efficiencies here. I'm not trying to, for my sake and your sake, I'm not trying to go full on 5-month project on this. And again, we're trying to do stuff that, you know, Valaverse, it wasn't, they didn't have their vehicles out yet. Ramen didn't have their vehicles yet. Those vehicles, you know, those are looking fantastic now. So, all right. And then we have the Bratz car. So I really enjoyed doing this one. This one actually had a lot of modding to it because I had to redo these seats. The seats don't, you know, they're not like that. And you can't really sit a figure in there correctly. I had to actually drill down into these seats. Anyway, there's a video on how to do it. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one. Blade was sitting in this one in the background for a long time. And yeah, it looks good. Well, to me, it looks good. I had some fun making it, you know, setting it up. So it's a little bit dusty. Sorry about that, but it is what it is, right? So dust, the enemy of the collector. Now let's get into some super fun ones. Now this next one was just a lot of fun. All right, if you watch the video for this one, I think I called it the Maverick, and then I gave this little guy a name as well. And so anyways, I made it a Joe vehicle, of course. It's got some, you know, emblems there, American flag, G.I. Joe across the top. You know, again, we gave it some United States, you know, gave it some stickers on there to kind of let everybody know where it is. And a figure, like I've had Grunt, he's one of the taller figures, sitting in here. I've had Grunt sitting in here for the longest time. A Grunt, a G.I. Joe Grunt. I just shift his legs into this pocket that's back here, and he fits fine. This is actually a little bit smaller than the Joe scale. I think it's just a little bit smaller. But the great part about it is, look at this door. It's already hinged for you, so you don't have to rework it like I did with, you know, the Batmobile. It's I wish we'd get some more of these doors like this. So, but anyways, we were just dealing with what we had. So I made this I had a Grunt sitting in here, a classified Grunt sitting in here for the longest time, driving it around. And then look at this. This is very cool. I created this custom kit bash, whatever you want to call it. The door, look at that. The back does come out. And I think this was originally black. I think this was black. And I painted it olive drab, which is one of my favorite colors. And then I created this little tank, and you guys might know what this little tank is from, right? It's Bone Breaker. From the Bone Breaker wave or whatever, gave it some color, you know, gave it some just different look there. I know some of the engine is facing a little bit back. It doesn't matter. It looks right to me there. So anyways, they just gave it some character. You know, this does rotate. This is a minigun set from Gridiron. It does rotate. It does do cool stuff. You know, it's the Impact 44 before Gridiron put together the Impact 44, and I really like it. I actually created another one. I actually bought the pieces to build another one of these because I don't know. I really like it. So I'm getting ready to deploy another one of these out there, and so yeah. Let me know what you guys think. And the great part is that you can literally just drop this guy. Right, he fits perfectly right in there. Look at that. Boom, just perfectly right in the back there. Let me show you some of the other ones that I got. These are smaller vehicles. Here. Scrap Iron was testing this out for Cobra Commander. I forgot what we called this one. But, you know, Scrap Iron was testing this flight drone out. You guys will probably recognize it from the Buzz Lightyear set. Again, I gave it some dry brushing, painted it out, just made it look Cobra-y, you know, gave it some emblems there, some stickers, and it just, to me it looks bad. It's like a bad guy, right? It looks really like a bad guy. So like a bad guy drone, right? Take this up, you know, he's going to do some damage, especially with that heavy machine gun on it. So that was fun doing that. And then tell me if you recognize the parts for this. This was one of my very first customs for the show, or kit bashes, whatever you want to call it. So before there was even a hint of the Cobra Claw, this is what I created. I think I still have the video up as well for it. Do you guys recognize what this is from? Yeah, that's right. It's a Fortnite glider. But the Fortnite glider doesn't look like this. You got to do a little bit of work to make it look like this. I actually really enjoyed building this one. It wasn't a big deal to do it. And, you know, I just enjoyed it. I don't know. I still need to work on how to hold him in there. Like I've got like some Velcro holding him in there, which is fine. But I'd like to get more of a plastic, something hard to hold him in there. So, yeah, I really enjoyed putting these together. Just a lot of fun. Now let's get into some of the ones that are just plain easy. It's not even a custom. These are vehicles that you can do that are just plain easy to do. They don't even require any modifications. Let me show you some of those. And some of these are going to be popping up at Ross. Some of these have already started popping up at Ross. The sad thing is, a lot of these used to be like $25, $30. But now Ross has kicked the price up on them to like $50, $60. So they kind of know what they got. So now they saw that they sold last year. And so, demand, supply and demand. They know they can get away with a little more, so they will. Let me show you. So this one's showing back up at Ross. I've seen a few people already talk about it, the Stingray. It's showing up at Ross. It does fit the characters pretty easy. The only bad part is, only thing I would do to this is actually, if I had time, I would actually cut this out right here, put magnets underneath it. I haven't done that. And that way you can pop this off, slide the figure in super easy, and pop this back on. What you could also do is build the hinge here and then just open the door, but that takes a lot of work. But I think it would be worth the while to do it. But it would be a lot of work to do. Again, this one's, you don't have to mess with this one. This one fits a figure in here very easily. Now it's a little bit bigger. This is about 1/10 scale, 1/11 scale. Like a little bit bigger than 1/12 scale. So it's between that 1/10, 1/11 scale. But you could fake it. You don't, it has to be exact or else you're faking it. Okay, yeah, whatever. Use your imagination, guys. It's not that serious. Here, let's go get the other. All right, this one was showing up at Ross also. Now, this one is perfect because it is a drop top and it has it off, and you can just slide the figure right in here. No problem. Super easy to do. So, yeah, when I saw this one out there, again, the custom police are going to come at you and tell you this is 1/10. You're not allowed to use it with G.I. Joe or Marvel Legends. It's 1/10. Whatever. You can fake it real easy and it looks really great. I think, where's one that's, I don't know. The Ramen Racer is almost as long as this one, or about as long as this one. So sometimes, yeah, you can kind of fake these. Is it a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be? Yeah. But I mean, who's keeping track? Who's going to take out a ruler and well, I guess the custom police will take out a ruler and tell you and set you straight. It's silly. Anyways, let me go get the other ones. Oh, look at that. Kind of adjust there. Huh. That was retractable. Let me go get, there is another set of customs, but they're not really customs. And you guys, you know what? Unless you want to see them, they're the gridiron versions, right? You guys have seen me recently do some customs on that, but they're not really customs. They're more like upgrades, I would say. And gridiron's pricey. So if you're going for a budget, that's not the way to go. So now I would tell you this though. Some of the weapon systems that Gridiron sells are really easy to use with some of these hard points. Like that one I used from Gridiron, and this one came from Gridiron. Some of the weapons like mounting points, those are really great to use. But yeah, I don't know if you tell me, do you guys consider the Gridiron things custom, or are they more like upgrades? I don't know. I'm kind of caught in between whether to put those on here. Now, I'm going to leave them off for now. If you guys want to see all my Gridiron stuff, it's not that much. It's maybe, how many of those do I have? I just have the 2 right now, right? No, I have 3. I have the Recon, the limited edition Recon Stinger, the APC Stinger, the one that's turned into a tank, and then we have the fully modded out Vamp. It's got all the upgrades on it. So you guys let me know if you want to see those. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. It's a joy building some of these things. There's more. No, there's not. There's not more. If I had more, I brought it out. I have more ideas, I should say. I have a lot more ideas, but I don't have, like I said, if you join the channel for customs, I would love to give you more of them. They just demand a lot of time. So, it is what it is. when I started this, I promised you 2 toy hunts a week with a news at the end of the week. So that's what I'm committed to fully. 2 toy hunts a week and a news segment at the very end. Everything else is between is just icing on the cake as time permits. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. I forgot to mention, we reached 2,700 subscribers, and I am beyond grateful for everybody who's joined me on this trip. It's just fun, right? Again, why did we start the channel? Number one, to just enjoy the hobby and have fun together. Number two, to engage the community, to expand this hobby to others. And number three, maybe one day in the future, we'll be able to influence manufacturers to do better stuff. I think some I'm not going to take credit for influencing them. I think the community in general has influenced some of the decisions that Ramen Toys has done, that Valaverse has done. They're smart. They've been listening to the community, and so has Hasbro to some extent. They've also been listening. So we're starting to have an effect. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate every single one of you. Consider being a member. If you're not, if you're enjoying the content, maybe like, maybe subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed this segment. So as always, guys, if you're doing this hobby and you got a smile on your face, you're doing it right. Thank you so much for watching. And again, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling these out.